Hello student. So in the previous video we have discussed about calyx and corolla. Calyx is also known as sepals and corolla is also known as petal. So today now we will start with the andrecium. Andrecium is the male part. We have done calyx and corolla. Now in today's video we will study about andrecium and gynoecium. Andrecium is called the male part and gynoecium is called the female part of a flower. So we will look at the flower also and we will discuss also. First of all, let us look at what is written. Andrecium. It is the third hole of a flower and its individual segments or units are called stamens. Andrecium is also known as stamens. The collective term for all the stamens is andrecium. Yes, I said this only. Andrecium is also known as stamens. Structure. Stamen is the male part of a flower. It consists of a thin stalk or filament and bilobed structure called anther. So what does andrecium consist of? A stalk or a filament and an anther. The anther and filament are connected by a connective tissue. Both are connected by a connective tissue. Each anther lobe contains two pollen sacs which contain pollen grain. So in the pollen sacs, pollen grain is contained. What is the function of the andrecium? Andrecium acts as a male part of the flower and produces pollen grain which take parts in reproduction. So these pollen grain takes parts in reproduction. How? These pollen grain with the help of agents of pollination like insect, air, water, wind. Through these all, they get into the female part and where they fuses with the female part. Male part and female part fuses and then fertilization occurs and then the flower gets converted into fruit or vegetable. So let us look at in the flower, the structure. So see here, as you can see, so see this is the flower of a China rose. These are andrecium. You can see this yellow they are carrying this yellow is called the anther and this thin like structure is called the filament. This thin are called filament. Okay, so I have here drawn plucked some andrecium. These are andrecium. They are so sticky. This is the andrecium and this yellow color are called anther and this is the filament. This long thin like structure is filament and this yellow you can see in your home also. You will have China rose if you have these yellow color structure is called anther. What is the function? The function of the andrecium is to produce pollen grain and in this yellow color anther there are so many pollen grains. There are so many pollen grain which will fall into the female part and help in fertilization. Next, coming to the book, we will study now about the fourth hole. The fourth hole is the gynoecium, which is the female part. So let us see what is written. Gynoecium, it is the fourth central hole of the flower. Its individual segments or units are also called carpel or pistil. Gynoecium is also known as carpel or pistil. One or more carpel may be present in a flower. In a flower, maybe there is one gynoecium or maybe there are more than one gynoecium. The collective term for all the carpel is gynoecium. For all the carpel, it is called gynoecium. Let us look at the structure. The pistil is differentiated into three parts. The terminal receptive part is called stigma. So receptive means where it is receiving the pollen grain. Where it is receiving the pollen grain, that part is called stigma. The long middle tubular part called style. Tubular part called style and the basal swollen part called ovary. The basal swollen part is called ovary. The ovary contains ovule which fuses with the pollen grain during the process of fertilization. So in the ovary there is ovule again which fuses with the pollen grain, the male part, during the process of fertilization and give rise to fruits and seed. And in this way the flower gets converted into fruits and seed. Let us look at the function. It acts as a female part of the flower and produces ovule which ripens into seed and helps in reproduction. So the gynoecium is the female part of the flower and produces ovule which ripen to seed. The ovule gets converted into seed and helps in reproduction. All the flowers, okay, this is different. So now let us look at the flower, then you'll understand it better. So this is the female part. This is the female part of the flower. These all are male part. These small like structure. And in the female part, I am showing there how many parts are there? Stigma, style, and ovary. So this is the stigma. This red color you can see. This red color is there. There are total 5 there are. This red color is the stigma, not this yellow part. See only the red color part. Red color is the stigma. This is the style. This full is the style and inside there will be an ovary. Let me show you one if I have. No, I don't have. I have to. Okay. So again I am saying this red color one is the stigma in which the pollen grain comes and sit. This red color is the stigma in which the pollen grain is coming and sitting. This one is the style, and inside there is, if I have to tear this, inside there is an ovary, and the pollen grains are coming from here, sitting in the stigma, going through the style and in the ovary, and in the ovary again ovule is present where fertilization takes place. Ovule gets converted to seed and ovary gets converted to fruit.